Welcome to Car Coach Reports. I'm Lauren Fix, and here is the highly anticipated 2022 Cadillac CT4V Blackwing, and it represents the pinnacle of Cadillac's performance and their craftsmanship, as well as their goal to leverage their championship-winning racing heritage to create a track-capable Cadillac while continuing to set new standards for luxury and comfort. But did Cadillac make the goal? Well, if this is your first time here, we give you more than car reviews and first looks of new vehicles. We give you car smarts, because knowledge is power. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell for notifications, because you don't want to miss anything. The Cadillac CT4V Blackwing is powered by a 3.6-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine with 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. That's a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds, backed by a manual transmission with standard active rev matching, which I love, or the 10-speed automatic paddle shifters. Now, both Blackwings, because there's a CT5V Blackwing as well, have 3 drive modes: the Tour, the Track, and the Sport. Let's face it, most drivers are never going to put these very cool cars in the Track or their competitors. Standard alloy wheels are either dark or bright, with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S with R compound and stopping power of carbon ceramic brakes that helps this car stop on a dime or maybe even a nickel. The exterior design is made for everyday enthusiasts, with carbon fiber front and rear splitters which look really great and fit in nicely. An electronic stability control rear differential is standard on all these features, and also lightweight aluminum housing. This is all about less unsprung weight and enhances the design as well as the track performance. Now, the advanced suspension refinements are certainly improved over a regular Cadillac. It controls the body roll, it makes it a more agile feel, while the Magnetic Ride has the 4.0 Blackwing specific tuning for these cars, and it makes it a better daily driver as well as a better high performance vehicle, and of course trackable, which is important especially against the competitors. It has unique purposeful exterior elements, including specific grills, rear spoiler, front splitter, and mid-body panels. Under the hood, you have a 472 horsepower with 445 pound-feet of torque. That's from a 3.6-liter V6 engine with twin turbos. Our transmission is a 6-speed manual, but you can also get an automatic. But you don't get the rev matching then, and that's one of the reasons you don't want to miss up on getting one of these manual transmission CT4V Blackwings. Okay, we're inside the CT4V Blackwing, and it's fun. First thing is, it's got a 3.6-liter twin turbocharged V8. It's got 472 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is 3.8 seconds. So the first thing you do when you get in the car is you can pick the different drive modes. And that, of course, is your choice. Now, it comes with a manual transmission or an automatic. But the manual has the rev matching. Now, I love the snapping and the popping and the burbling and gurgling of the exhaust. You get that a lot in like a Shelby Mustang or in a Corvette. It's an American thing. You don't get that as much and at the same levels that you do in some of the German cars, although they try. But a lot of it is manufactured as well. You hear it through the speakers. One thing I did note is there's a lot of road noise from these tires. Of course, you can always buy an aftermarket tire. There's tons of places like Tire Rack where you can pick up a tire that meets your needs, especially when you're looking at a sticky tire like this one. Now, here's your first thoughts when you get in the car. You look up, you've got a nice large head-up display. You've got really nice detailed 12-inch gauge in front of you that you can customize, which you do need if you're going to put this on the track. But I'm constantly going to say this: how many people really put their BMW, their Mercedes, their Audi, their Cadillac on a track? Not many. Very small percentage, although I highly recommend going to a high-performance driving school and bringing this vehicle and learning how to drive it to its maximum capabilities. As someone who races a car with 850 horsepower, believe me, I've been teaching schools for years. This is the smartest thing you can do because you want to learn its maximum capabilities. It'll help you be a better driver. There are 3 drive modes in this CT4V Blackwing. Get your touring, your driving, your sport. But one of the things I like is this rev matching. When you've got the rev matching on, you don't have to lift your foot off the gas. You can just shift put your foot on the clutch, and shift to the next gear. That's pretty close to what I have in my race car, which is what they call straight cut gears, or an X-Track if you get a sequential box, but that's a whole other conversation. Interesting that you can do that in a street car. Very few vehicles offer that. This is the Tremec transmission. It's one of the things that makes it a really great transmission, one of the best on the market. So here's what you do. Put your foot in the clutch and shift. There's no lifting off the gas. There's no hitting the brake. There's no heel and toe downshifting either. It really works as it states, and I have to give Cadillac a lot of credit for the transmission. It is fantastic. This transmission is available in other brands as well. It's not exclusive to Cadillac or to General Motors. I do like the beefy steering wheel. The wheel centering stripe that's here I think is excellent. Really easy to use gauges. There's a few things on this vehicle I'm not a big fan of. Like, I can't believe how small the center screen is. Every other vehicle that's competing against this, the BMW M2, the M3, the Audi RS5, which is a two-door, or the RS3, AMG CLA 45, those are all direct competitors. They all have bigger screens, and that's something you want to think about because it may not be something that would work for you. This is definitely an easy car to drive. It's a lot of fun, great sounding exhaust, and I'm really impressed with the vehicle overall. There's a few things I don't like. Let's get started with the seats. Yes, there's lumbar on both sides. Excellent. However, these seats are very hard. They are very adjustable. There's only one massaging setting. Do you really need that? No. But if you're going to compete against with BMW, Audi, Mercedes, even the Shelby, I know it's not really a direct competitor, but it kind of is, the seats are better. They're more Recaro style. In other words, they have a softer bolster, but still more comfortable. I don't think I'd want to go on a long road trip on these. They're just too hard and too firm. And if you're a bigger person, the seats are too narrow for you. I'm a smaller person, so it's pretty simple for me. But my husband, who's 5'10", who's a professional racer, said these seats are really hard. I agree with him, and we've both been driving this car for about a week. The center screen's pretty easy to use. You press the button, you can get your regular split screen. You can swipe it to audio, which has got Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, which is wireless and standard. GM's been very ahead on that. Also, you've got your phone connection, your navigation system. We did use that coming from the airport to where we are here in Florida. It's a little on the dated side. Use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, much better choice. You've got your Wi-Fi hotspot, pretty standard in all the vehicles. It is a 4G LTE. Remember, they're removing 3G from the market, so if you've got a 3G car, you're not going to be happy, and there's a lot of vehicles out on the road that have that. You've got your user settings. You can set your different settings for your safety that you want, and then your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto buttons. You've got OnStar, which is top of the line. I'm a huge OnStar fan. That is General Motors exclusively. They used to have it on other cars. Love the OnStar setup. You've also got your climate control, Spotify, My Cadillac, SiriusXM, Alexa, but there's also this PDR. That is your performance data recorder. They have that in the Corvette as well, so they're bringing that software over. It's also in the Camaro, and I think that's a smart idea because it's very performance oriented. Now, when you hit that button, you go right into the recordings, the settings. You can do a video overlay. You can do lap timing. If you bring this to the track, you can improve on your skills and become a better driver. You'll need to put an SD card in it. Our test vehicle didn't have one, or I'd be making my way over to Sebring, which is about 4 hours from here. That would be worth the time to put this on the track. Now, as far as performance, this vehicle has really nice performance, with the one thing that you're noting right away, when you drive a V8, you get instant response. There is turbo lag. This is a twin turbo. I do like the engine and what they've done, but it's almost needs a little bit more, or using the two-stage turbos instead of at the same time, using one for slower speeds and one for higher speeds. That would take away that turbo lag. You wouldn't sense that. One other thing to note is they're only building 250 CT4Vs and 250 2C5Zs. So these are very much collectible cars. You will see these go for big numbers in the future. This is number 46-124. I'm not sure exactly why it's doing that kind of number combination rather than just saying it's number 210 of 250. But this is a very special car for that reason. And by the way, the only place it says Blackwing on the vehicle is right here on the seats, each of the seats, and that's it. Although it does have a black wing, it also has a lot of exterior components to make this car very aerodynamic for the track if that's what you choose to do. I do love this shifter. really tight, short throws, nice and simple. You could do this all day long, but 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. This is great. This vehicle hooks up real easily. There's a lot of exterior carbon fiber on this vehicle, as well as the rear diffuser, the rear wing, which I love, Blackwing, because it's carbon fiber. Your rear diffusers, as well as the black exhaust pipes, really are impressive. This is designed for the track. The interior has some pretty impressive upscale trim levels, including book-matched carbon fiber seat backs, premium leathers, as well as additional carbon fiber, suede interior trim, and the V-Series Blackwing has the AKG audio system. Now inside, the racing bucket seats are quilted and race-inspired, 3D printed shifter head-up display that is linear and bright. The large 12-inch reconfigurable display has all the information you need for the track or for the road. So what does the CT4V Blackwing compete against? Well, mostly German cars. You have the BMW M2 or the M3 with that hideous front grille, the Audi RS3 or the RS5, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA 45. Now, yes, there are other cars in this category, but when you're talking about a four-door sedan that's rear-wheel drive based, this is the vehicles that it would compete against. So what's the pricing of the CT4V? Well, they're only making 250 of them as the CT5V. This starts at $64,990. Our test vehicle came in at $72,000 because it had the tech pack, the carbon fiber, this cool electric blue paint, and a lot more options, which made this vehicle right in that same area as a lot of the German cars. So did Cadillac meet their goal? Well, not really. The seats are too hard, and I wish they'd used Recaro seats or something a little bit more comfortable and more adjustments. And if you're going to put in massaging seats, put real massaging seats in. The sticky tires created a lot of road noise, and I thought it was a bit too loud, but driving this, you knew it was a turbocharged vehicle and not a V8. There was obviously a turbo lag in that, and that's part of the throttle response. I did like the shifting, and the rev matching was fabulous. It certainly made it way more fun to drive, and that's one of the highlights of this vehicle, is using that rev matching system. Now, when you put it in the V mode, the steering was really heavy, and that's due to that electronic variable rate steering. I talked about that during the drive portion, and the handling was top of the line awesome and really fabulous, and that's where they could beat the Germans, and that's really important. I did like that nice beefy steering wheel, and the interior details were really nice, although I thought the safety was a bit in too much in a lot of ways. However, is this enough for you to look away from Germany? Or is it just getting close? I think it's getting closer than it's ever been before, and we'll be reviewing all those vehicles as well. But if you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. I did not cover every single detail on this vehicle, and I'm sure you have questions. Put them in the comments down below. Did you order one? Are you one of those lucky few? Or did you buy something else? And if you did, what did you buy? We'd really like to hear your feedback, your comments, and your questions. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. You can follow me on all forms of social media at Lauren Fix to stay on top of some of the coolest things that are coming out and some information that you might want to know. There's more on our website, carcoachreports.com. The content is in English and in Spanish. We have a lot of contributors out there too, and we'd love you to read their opinions. Also, if you're looking to get more car smarts, check out my book, Lauren Fix's Guide to Loving Your Car. The link is down below. I'm also co-hosting a podcast called Total Car Score. It's available on all platforms where we talk to people behind the scenes, like this Cadillac CT4V Blackwing, and we talk to people and find out, why did you build it? What makes the industry tick, and we love sharing that with you. We appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for your time, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your support on our Patreon page, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.